Man, I really love this version. I like it more than the original. Anyway, I'm very happy today. I actually have a Big Mac here. And I haven't finished it. Yeah, I haven't finished it. Hold on, let me check. Off screen. Let me check the performance of the streaming device. So I have the task manager on. That's a spike right there. I hope we don't get disconnected. I'm putting live chat on. Okay. Okay, so right now... Frick. Hold on. Oh man, I should have just taken a screenshot. Oh well. I'm pretty full. I'm pretty full and I haven't finished it. I'm getting old. When I was younger, I can chow this thing down. Anyway. Oh. So much to do. So many artifacts. Man, I'm so full. And aside from artifacts, zone or whatever. Oh, I haven't finished. Oh, there is so much to know. Excuse me. This is a 4-star item? Frick. Anyway. Let's do the other one. Gotta have some practice with this one. Used to be impossible for me. when my characters were a little bit weaker. Anyway, am I gonna go out tomorrow? It's been a while. But no, I really wanna start earning again first before I go. And I think I should really I don't know, rethink my budget. You know, I buy a lot of sausages, and they last way longer than I expect. You know, when I get the groceries, I expect it to last for 1 week. But, you know, some things run out faster than the others. You know,
I will lead us to victory.
I think Sarah's too, you know, I don't wanna say frail, but you know, low HP. Oh, Xianglin is even lower. Interesting. Interesting. You know, it's one that, whatever.
You are not welcome here.
Quiver!
Frick! I thought my horse was ready! Oh no!
Storm the front!
I thought my horse was ready.
Fire! Going in!
Now you're testing my patience. Gotcha.
Strike!
I wanna play Counter-Strike later. Single player games make me
Everybody stand back!
pretty lonely, you know.
Let's light it up! Glory to the Shogun!
I must not forget that I'm a Ligma. What the frick, I have phlegm. I have phlegm. Let me take some vitamin C. Back when I was still a drunkard and a smoker,
You are not welcome here.
you know, I can tolerate having the vitamin C tablet inside my mouth. No, I was less sensitive even to taste because my taste was
Let's light it up. Teamwork is
it's actually psychological.
I'm getting sick of
Your mind desensitizes even your taste. You know, when you're a smoker, it makes you used to it.
flash. No turning back.
Meet again.
Oh, frick.
I'm going
I
in.
really underestimate these guys. Oh, see?
Let's light it up. Boba, get strike.
They should put the bell on Razor. When I saw the main loading screen, the main landing page, it has my husband. Okay. I was just making sure. Just kidding. Shit.
Get back. I'm down.
Now you're testing my patience.
Flash. Storm the front.
Oh, frick. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Send this
Impossible.
now.
Quiver.
Nice and spicy.
We'll meet again.
Boba, get them.
I saw someone on Facebook, I don't know, yesterday. Look, our mutual friend is like a music organizer, like a production head. I can't help but think that it's the guy. It's the guy from years ago. The one whose companions left. When he got drunk. They were all drunk. And the other guy was freaking driving. They say from Manila to Laguna.
No turning back. Flash.
When I was younger, I didn't really care about those kinds of things. But now that I'm older, I think
I'm going in.
pretty concerned.
Now you're testing my patience.
I'm the frying pan.
I mean, I have expressed concern in the past.
Let's light it up.
but not towards, well, I mean, even towards drunk people being out in public, traveling. I guess if I knew the person, no? If I knew the person, but if like that, it was the only time I met them. It's I think it was the first time. Oh wow, I never found out. And what if they got into an accident? Laguna is it's pretty far. So, it's a possibility that they got into an accident.
Strike!
But back when I was younger, those kinds of things didn't really matter to me.
Testing my patience.
Oh, especially during that time.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Let's end this now.
That's the time when I gave up one of my career plans
Strike!
after a lot of dissuasion from my father.
Is that all you got?
Yeah, especially during that time,
Quiver!
I was also drinking myself stupid back then. So I guess that was a time when I didn't really care. Hello, good morning. I think there's a new banner. I saw Scaramouche on the freaking landing page. He's my husband, by the way. No.
I know.
This one really,
Present.
in my eyes, she's a combination of Calliope Mori and Gigi.
Look at these plates I invented. When you give them the orders, they come walking over to you. Dinner, come out. Serve me food.
That's very smart. Computer, make me a Big Mac. That's pretty dark, man. I think I think it was Pinoy Extreme who brought up that topic, or posted like it's funny how we keep on complaining about our job. And sometimes we might slack. So there's no wonder. There's no wonder if employers wanna replace us with AI. students relying on AI. If you're just gonna have AI do everything for ya, why wouldn't employers do the same? If you don't,
Watch. You leave, you call me.
if you don't really wanna study or polish your skills and you just wanna rely on AI, don't you think employers would wanna do the same or would pick AI over you? Just a thought for me.
Flash! Out of the frying pan!
Try to keep up.
Boba, get
Quiver!
You won this one.
I mean, if you've seen or read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know his father got replaced by a freaking robot, and it's in the same phenomenon.
nice and spicy!
You know, it's a good thing that
Get them!
even if I'm not the best student, you know, I pay attention. You know, there are a lot of times when
Flash!
I can confidently say to a person that shit was taught in elementary or high school. Huh, like, weren't you listening? I remember someone, you know, I really don't like him. You know, I like to hang out with him, but, you know, I wouldn't. But I wouldn't adopt his mindset.
Boba, get them!
Quiver! Glory to the shogun! Let's light it up!
Man, he's also a freaking misinformation spender. Misinformation pender. You know, one thing that really struck me back then. You know, he said that he has told his mom that the quality of education is good, but his quality of learning is not so good. You know, I think he's just not putting effort into understanding things. And now we were both psychology majors back then. Anyway, I mean, I can relate because
Nice and spicy!
you know, most of the time I know that people mean well, but I wanna do things in my own pace, at my own pace. You know, if it's not work related. Of course, if it's work related, then I would wanna learn as fast as I can. But if it's things like, hobbies, guitar, airsoft, it's not our job. It's not work. And most of the time I'm playing. I'm just having a good time. you know, uh, when I go to airsoft sites, sometimes in my imagination, I'm in Star Wars, or sometimes in my imagination, I'm a freaking comedy action movie, like Who Killed Captain Alex? I just wanna have fun, I don't need anyone telling me what to put on my rifle or how to play. No, I don't need anyone acting like a freaking drill sergeant. That's pretty absurd. Man. I also don't like freaking, fellow reservists freaking acting up. It's like a Sunday's a Wendy's meme. Shit. I don't know. I mean, I still have money, but I don't wanna spend it. So I haven't been going out and acting as if I have a freaking job. I mean, I got hired as a tutor, but I'm not yet earning, so
Adventure time.
oh, hold on.
Let's light it up.
How do you... Oh, this one. See, I've forgotten.
Take your pick. You'll find those.
Oh my, there's a lot of prima gems. Okay, let's take a look back.
Adventure team.
These, you see these commission quests. I used to abuse them. Like I want, every time I go online I would play these, as many times as I can, to get as many prima gems as I can. So that's it for Genshin Impact. Farming up build material. I'm really tempted to get the... Okay. I'm really tempted to get the man-tigers from Warhammer. I think they're like I think $4 US. Just a little under $4 US. I'm thinking about it, but you know, I don't think I'm gonna play a lot of it. Oh, there he is, oh. It's Wanderer, my husband.
I, Bashiva the White Tiger, swear the oath anew. The Tiger Court stands within Grand Cathay.
Yesterday I was playing on stream and I got to play when someone who has them already. It was pretty neat.
Sworn ally to the Iron Dragon of the Western Provinces. In exchange, Cathay's enemies become our prey, devouring, mortal, and ruinous. With
You know, I highly recommend not devouring Nurgle. Before I was playing Skaven, and of course one of the options after battles is to devour the prisoners. Sometimes I would win against Nurgle factions. Man, that's disgusting.
claw and honor, we earn the dragon's favor, leading Shengyang's armies into greatness. We defend Grand Cathay. By Kamau's grace, this oath I swear. At the dragon's roar, the tiger warriors pounce.
It's pretty awesome that they can actually use in-game models to make cinematics now. I remember Warcraft 3. I wanna make this my wallpaper now. I wanna make this my wallpaper now. It's not pretty HD though. Anyway. Come on. I changed my inner barrel. Freaking skipping topics. Now I'm wondering how much stronger it became. I haven't tested it. really hope it's like 420 to 450 feet per second. Sticking up. It's taking a while. I don't think something's wrong. If that's the same server, it was okay. I think for this, oh no, they switched the dark elves. I need shielded units here. 2,500. Oh. Maybe another, give me a hero unit. $2,000. Nope. I got analysis paralysis, yo. Excuse me. Does this thing fly? I don't think so. wow. Oh, and I can only feel one of those. Okay. Yep. You know, I really hate vampires. And I also hate dark elves because they look like vampires. I hate dark elves. I hate dark elder. And I hate vampires. Anyway, what else should I freaking remember for work?
Hi, I'm Brian Wiles, and in this video, I'm going to explain how to use all 12 tenses in English. Let's get started. As you might be aware, English has 4 present tenses, and you're probably familiar with the present simple, as in, I study. We use this tense when talking about facts, habits, and schedules. That is my phone. Fact. He studies every day. Habit. On weekends, we play soccer. Schedule. The present simple is by far the most common verb tense in English, so you'll get plenty of practice with this over time. The present continuous. I am studying. We use the present.
You know, that's called progressive. You know, from what I learned in elementary and stuff.
Present continuous to describe actions that are happening right now, as in, you are watching this video right now. I am speaking on camera. An airplane is flying through the sky. With this tense, the action is happening as we speak. The present perfect. I have studied. We use the present perfect when talking about how an action from the past describes the subject now, as in, I have studied English for 3 years. In this sentence, have studied English is a past action, but we're using it to describe who I am now. It's my experience.
So, I'm gonna make guesses right now, and later I'm gonna learn if those are correct. So, present verb perfect, I am studying. Present perfect continuous is I have been studying.
And we often use the present perfect to talk about someone's experience or lack of experience. She has eaten breakfast already. He has lived there all his life. They have never been to Mexico. We're using past experience to describe who the subject is now, and that's why this is a present tense. And finally, the present perfect continuous. I have been studying. We use the present perfect continuous to talk about an action that started in the past and continues non-stop into the present. I have been studying Spanish for 8 years. In other words, I started studying 8 years ago, I never stopped, and I'm still learning now. I have been studying. We often use this tense to emphasize when an ongoing action first started. He has been sleeping for 12 hours. She has been working 2 jobs since February. They have been traveling for 5 weeks. Okay, ready to talk about the past? Let's do it. And again, we have 4 tenses. First up is the past simple, I studied. This tense is very straightforward and very common. We use it when talking about an action that started in the past and finished in the past. For example, she worked last night. In other words, she started work last night and she finished work last night. He ate eggs for breakfast. He ate eggs then, he's not eating them now. I lived in Chicago when I was a child. I lived there then, and I don't live there now. Why? Because an action in the past simple is always finished in the past. Great, now we have the past continuous, I was studying. We use the past continuous to describe an action that continued over a period of time in the past. I was studying. But more specifically, we almost always use this tense to give context or background for another action. I was studying when the phone rang. We were living in Canada when we got engaged. He was running when he caught the ball. The past perfect. I had studied. This tense is also used to provide context for another action in the past. But the past perfect always comes beforehand. Sarah had already left by the time he got home. In other words, Sarah left before he got home. It could have been a minute before, an hour before, or a year before. All we know is she had already left. Let's look at 2 more examples. I had already booked the tickets when the concert sold out. In other words, I booked the tickets before the concert sold out. We had eaten a big lunch, so we weren't hungry when we got to the hotel. In other words, we ate a big lunch before we got to the hotel, so we weren't hungry. And finally, the past perfect continuous. I had been studying. And again, we almost always use this tense to give context. But the past perfect continuous describes an action that continued over time and then stopped at the moment of another action. I had been watching TV when the power went out. I was watching, power went out, no more watching. He had been eating pizza
Okay, again.
Another action in the past. But the past perfect...
I'm gonna listen to this 3 times. So, take 2.
This tense is also used to provide context for another action in the past. But the past perfect always comes beforehand. Sarah had already left by the time he got home. In other words, Sarah left before he got home. It could have been a minute before, an hour before, or a year before. All we know is she had already left. Let's look at 2 more examples. I had already booked the tickets when the concert sold out. In other words, I booked the tickets before the concert sold out.
So I think I'm gonna use this past perfect if the past perfect action already ended before the other one. And then for the past perfect continuous, I'm gonna use this one for something that was ended because something else started. Yeah, so this one already done. This one cut short or interrupted. Okay.
We had eaten a big lunch, so we weren't hungry when we got to the hotel. In other words, we ate a big lunch before we got to the hotel, so we weren't hungry. And finally, the past perfect continuous. I had been studying. And again, we almost always use this tense to give context. But the past perfect continuous describes an action that continued over time and then stopped at the moment of another action. I had been watching TV when the power went out. I was watching, power went out, no more watching. He had
Yes, that's my idea also. Cut short.
been eating pizza every day when he started the diet. Eating pizza, started the diet. We had been talking about going to France for years and finally decided to go. Talking about going, decided to go. Congratulations,
I have been talking about Big Macs until I ordered one.
we've now covered all the
Yes, past. I had been talking about getting a Big Mac.
when he started the diet. Eating pizza.
Maybe until I had been talking about Big Macs until I ordered one.
Started the diet. We had been talking about going to France for years and finally decided to go. Talking about going, decided to go. Congratulations, we've now covered all the past tenses of English. Excellent work. We're on to the final stretch, the future. And again, we've got 4 tenses. Let's begin with the future simple. I will study. We use the future simple to talk about actions that we believe will happen in the future. I will call you tomorrow. We'll bring cupcakes to the party. He'll be there by 6 p.m. And yes, most of the time, English speakers shorten the word will to "ll," as in I'll study, you'll study, he'll
I don't know. Because I like them so much.
study, etc., etc. And there's another form of the future simple that you might already be familiar with. Going to or gonna, as in I'm going to call you tomorrow. We're gonna bring cupcakes to the party.
Futures
He's
simple.
gonna be there by 6 p.m. The will and going to forms have the same meaning, but going to or gonna is more casual. The future continuous, I will be studying. We use the future continuous to talk about an action that we believe will continue over a period of time in the future. For example, we will be eating dinner from 6 to 7 p.m. I'll be...
You know, there's such a thing in my mind, what I call, the McDonald's cheeseburger taste. Basically, onion and tomato ketchup or tomato sauce. White onion, yeah.
running errands all afternoon. And again, we can also use going to instead of will. They're going to be traveling all summer. The baby's gonna be sleeping when you arrive. The future perfect.
Man, we're just waiting for the host. All 3 of us have been ready.
I will have studied. We use the future perfect to talk about actions that will be finished by a certain time in the future. For example, she will have moved to a new apartment before the end of the year. In other words, here's the end of the year, and she'll move to a new apartment sometime before that.
But it's always will have, not will had. Not will had.
Could be a day before, a week before, a month before, any time. Let's look at 2 more examples. He will have finished his homework by the time dinner is ready. So, dinner is ready, and he finished his homework sometime before that. They will have come home by the spring. So, spring comes, and they came home sometime before that. the action will be finished before a given time in the future. And finally, the future perfect continuous. I will have been studying. So this time, we're talking about a continuous action that will be completed at a given time in the future. He will have been driving for 6 hours straight when he arrives. Now, honestly, English speakers rarely use this tense, but when we do, it's to emphasize the duration of an action, how long it will take. We will have been living in Los Angeles for a decade this December. She will have been working at the company for 40 years when she retires. And that's it. We've covered all 12 tenses of English. Congratulations. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And as always...
What the frick? You also freaking teaches
Hi,
Hindi?
I'm Brian Wiles, and in
What the frick?
this video, I'm going to show you the best way to learn Hindi on your own. मैं 4 साल से हिंदी सीख रहा हूँ और अब मुझे पता है कि क्या काम करता है और क्या नहीं. I'll show you the best free resources for building each of these skills based on your current level, and then we'll create a daily learning routine that meets your goals and needs. Let's get started. What is practical Hindi? First of all, this video is for people who want to learn practical Hindi. That is the everyday spoken language of most of northern India. And I say that because what I'm calling practical Hindi actually includes a lot of words that come from another language, Urdu. Now, without getting too deep in the weeds on this, Hindi and Urdu, which is the national language of Pakistan, are almost the same language, at least for everyday purposes. Yes, they use different scripts. Hindi uses Devanagari, Urdu uses Nastaliq, but 95% of ordinary words are effectively the same in both languages. Ghar, ghar. Bada, bada. Chelna, chelna. But that other 5% is very important because in many parts of the Hindi belt, you're actually more likely to hear the Urdu word than the true Hindi word. Pustak, kitab. Mitr, dost. Dhanyavad, shukriya.
Yeah. Generally, Indians are Hindu, while Pakistanis are generally Muslim. Britonia.
Kriya.
But I really shouldn't overload my mind with too much in one aspect of my life. But no. However, in my job, they're not actually teaching me any English. They're teaching me how to conduct lessons. And I might I might be going back to I might take extra college subjects if they can help me get a certification for teaching or specifically English, not really as a, what do you call this, like a licensed or certified teacher, just as an English, I wouldn't say English teacher, but an English tutor. I cannot imagine becoming an actual teacher, like going back to my elementary or high school and becoming a teacher. No.
All of which
Anyway, I just need credentials. You know what I can say about brain rot? You know, at least we can find ways to entertain ourselves. Well, without being political or critical about serious things. Wow. This guy is really helpful. And you know, I like his visuals. They're very colorful, you know. They look like infographics. And those are really nice. And there's hard mode.
So just because you're on a 247-day streak doesn't truly mean you're actually learning the language, right? If you had dedicated.
Yes, you can absolutely learn 2, 3, or even 4 languages at the same time. And in this video, I'll show you how to do it. 7 years ago, I couldn't decide if I wanted to learn Mandarin or Arabic. I kept going back and forth. It was driving me crazy.
Even Arabic, man, what the frick?
And eventually I realized that the only way I would be happy was if I learned both of them. 2 of the hardest languages for English speakers at the same time. والحمدلله أنا نجحت ودلوقتي بتكلم اللغتين دي بطلاقة.如果你想多看你可以看一看我其他的视频吧. And the only reason I was able to do that was because I followed 3 key principles that I'm going to share with you right now. Language personalities. This concept might sound a little bizarre, but if you're learning 2 or more languages, it's a complete game changer. In one of my other videos, I talked about how speaking another language can actually make you feel like a slightly different version of yourself. For instance, when I speak French, I tend to feel a bit more sophisticated and worldly, and I've even
I don't believe that. And I don't have the same I don't have the same stereotype for that.
Notice that my body language starts to become a little more fluid. Donc ce matin, j'ai joué au parc avec mes enfants pendant 1h30. Whereas when I speak Arabic, I feel more playful and relaxed, and I've even noticed that my body language becomes a little bolder and bigger. بجد لسه في مطر. فين الشمس؟ الشمس يعني يختفي. Now look, it's not always a huge change. It can be very subtle. And it's mostly something that I just kind of feel in myself. And I call that feeling a language personality. And when I realized that these different language personalities exist,
You know, I think whatever language I'm trying to learn, man, I really can't. I can't change persona. Maybe the first thing I wanna learn is how to say what the frick.
it completely changed the way that I learn languages. Because when I started leaning into these various identities, I found that I stopped getting different languages mixed up in my head. And maybe you even had this experience. You're learning 2 languages, but when you try to speak one, the other one keeps trying to pop in. Sí, por supuesto. Te llamaré demain. ¿Cómo se dice? No. Demain, no? Mañana. Sí, gracias. And that's because your subconscious is having trouble separating the languages, where does one stop and the other one start. But by allowing yourself to have different language personalities, you're basically giving your subconscious big sticky boards for all the different data. Okay, French, we're going to take all the words, the sounds, the rules, and stick it to this personality. Japanese, we're going to take all that data.
You know, oh, what the frick, man, this.
Stick it to that personality. German, great, we're going to stick it to this personality. Are you getting the idea here? We want to cultivate the feeling of a language, the personality, so that your brain can then assign data to that feeling. And then when you want to speak or learn a different language, it's easy to make the switch. You simply lean into that different personality. Advance and maintain. Okay, you might think that consistently dividing your time between 2 or more languages would be the most efficient way to get better over time. It's not. Definitely not. Language learning is a holistic, subconscious process. You're throwing a lot of new information at your brain, new sounds, new words, new sentence structures, and over the short term, that information needs to be aligned, to be coming from one source, one language. So rather than learning like this, with equal time and equal effort, we want to instead advance one language while maintaining the other in cycles. Back and forth, back and forth. And if you're studying 3 or more languages, it's the same idea. Advance, maintain, advance, maintain. And I've actually found that when I take a complete break from studying a language, going a month or 2 months or 6 months with 0 practice, that when I come back to it, I'm surprisingly better. Sure, I'll be rusty with a little vocab, but after some
I've seen this video before.
time off, I always find that I can understand and speak a new language much more comfortably. I'm interested to know if other people have had this experience as well, so if you have, please leave a comment and let me know. The principle of separation. There's one more key concept here that I want to cover: separation. If you're learning 2 or more languages at the same time, it's very important that they remain as distinct as possible in your mind. Now, this idea plays into language personalities and the principle of advance and maintain, but there's much...
No, that's why I don't. You know, that's why I don't keep on making Filipino as an excuse. Not to learn Spanish. I mean, there are some words and expressions that have been lost to translation or misinterpreted, and I shouldn't be bringing those. I shouldn't be carrying those over when I'm trying to learn. Because if I keep on doing that, then I'll never learn.
Much more to it than that. For starters, you'll learn 2 languages more effectively if the languages themselves are very different from one another. For example, I wouldn't recommend learning, say, Spanish and Italian at the same time because there's so much overlap that your subconscious will need to work overtime.
They're not. For me, they're not, no. It's because for me, Spanish is closer to English. For me. Or maybe it's because I'm already familiar with some things. Scusi. Perdon. No, they're not. It's not actually closer. I guess I just have a little bit more familiarity with it. You know, I'm not gonna claim that it's knowledge. You know, I don't know much. Just a familiarity.
To keep each language in its own lane. Likewise, it's also helpful if your proficiency levels also have some separation. For example, learning 2 languages from 0 is much more difficult than learning 1 from 0 and 1 from an intermediate level. And even as you study, it's helpful to keep some distance between your target languages. So rather than doing, say, 30 minutes of French followed by 30 minutes of Mandarin back to back, do an hour of French one day and an hour of Mandarin the next. And there are plenty of other ways to build separation into your language learning practice. So you should find what works best for you and your learning style. If you'd like to see more videos about languages and language learning, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible. Nina can't.
Okay, let me just digest this one. I gotta keep on rehearsing it in my mind.
Hello lovely students and welcome back to English with Lucy. Today's lesson is truly perfect. We're going to cover the perfect tenses. As I have heard you loud and clear, these are the tenses that you struggle most with. Don't worry, it's not your fault. I often feel frustrated when I see lessons on the perfect tenses or explanations in grammar books. I don't feel like they're clear enough. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the perfect tense.
Well, I am doing the most damage. But not for long, I think.
And you will probably find that the way I explain them is different from how you've been taught before. I promise you that when you're done with this lesson, you're going to feel much more confident about how to use the past, present, and future perfect simple tenses in 3 key ways. To help you even more, I have also created this is a digital PDF that ends up being so big. I'm letting you have this. It's free. It contains everything that we cover in today's video in more detail with more examples, and there is a secret link to access our interactive exercise pack. This isn't available anywhere else. These are really gorgeous exercises that you can use to test your understanding of what I teach you today. If you would like to download the perfect ebook and gain access to the perfect tenses exercise pack, just click on the link in the description box. You enter your name and your email address, and that PDF containing that secret link will arrive directly in your inbox. After that, you'll automatically receive my free weekly PDFs, news, course updates, and offers. It's a free service. You can unsubscribe at any time. Okay, back to the perfect tenses, or should I say, the perfect aspect. I don't normally talk about tense versus aspect in my videos, but I think it's important and useful to mention it today. We only have 2 tenses in English. Present, I go, she goes, and past, I went, she went. Aspects add information about the way we view a verb. For example, an aspect can show whether an action is complete or continuing. When we use the perfect aspect, we look back from a certain point in time to another point in time. I'm going to explain lots more about this, and I will give you lots of examples. I am going to refer to them as the perfect tenses from now on, because I think that's the name most of you are familiar with. We don't have to overcomplicate this. So let's talk about how we form the perfect tenses. The present perfect simple and the past perfect simple have very similar forms. We form positive sentences in the present perfect simple with subject plus have or has plus past participle. And we form the past perfect simple with subject plus had plus past participle. I have been to London. I had been to London. To form negative sentences, we add not after have, has, or had. For example, she has not been to London. She had not been to London. And to form questions, we invert the subject and have, has, or had. Had she been to London? We form positive sentences in the future perfect simple with subject plus will have plus past participle. I will have been to London. To form negative sentences, we add not after will. I will not have been to London. And to form questions, we invert the subject and will. Will they have been to London? In speech and...
What the frick?
What I found. A 3-in-1 blush and highlighter.
And in formal writing, we often use contractions. Have is often contracted to of, apostrophe VE, and has is often contracted to apostrophe S, pronounced S or Z, depending on whether an unvoiced or voiced sound comes before it. For example, I've been to London, he's been to London, Pat's been to London. In negative sentences, we usually contract have not to haven't and has not to hasn't. You haven't been to London, she hasn't been to London. Had is often contracted to apostrophe D. He's been to London. In negative sentences, had not is often contracted.
1.
To hadn't. We hadn't been to London. Will is often contracted to apostrophe LL. They'll have been to London. Notice that I pronounce have.
Oh my G. Will have been.
As of when I'm speaking quickly. They'll have been to London. And will not is
Man, I never wanna have to say that tense.
usually contracted to won't. I won't have been to London.
You know the other guy, the one before. I think his examples are more practical.
Okay, now all of that's out the way, let's talk
This is freaking technical for me.
about the uses of the perfect tenses. In very general terms, we use the present perfect simple to look back from the present time. We use the past perfect simple to look back from a point in the past. And we use the future perfect simple to look back from a point in the future. It all makes sense. Let's talk about the three key uses. First, life experiences. We use the perfect simple tenses to talk about life experiences up to a specific point in time. We don't say exactly when these life experiences happen when we use a perfect tense. We use the present perfect simple to talk about life.
Hell yeah. Pyrrhic victory. That was really nice.
Life experiences up to now. The experiences happened in the past, but we are looking at them from the present. For example, I have been to New York. That means at some point in my life up to now, I went to New York. You don't know when exactly, but you know it was before the present time and that this event is completed. I am no longer in New York. You can learn about using the perfect tenses to say how many times something happened and negative sentences in the perfect ebook that goes with this lesson. Links down below. We can use the past perfect simple to talk about life experiences that happened before a point in the past. For example, I had been to New York by the time I was 25. In this example, the point from which we are looking back is age 25. And the sentence tells you that before I was 25, I went to New York. We use the future perfect simple to talk about life experiences that will be complete by a specific point in the future. Here's that same example again. I will have been to New York by the time I'm 35. Age 35 for me is in the future. This sentence tells us that before I am 35, I will visit New York. You don't know when, but the action of visiting New York will happen before I'm 35. Okay, the next use I want to talk about is for unfinished states and actions. We can use the perfect tenses to talk about states and actions that begin before a point in time and continue up to that point. This usage often tells us the duration of the action up to a certain point. We can sometimes use the perfect simple or perfect continuous tenses when talking about how long something lasts, and I've explained this in more detail in the perfect ebook. In this video, we're just focusing on the simple tenses. We use the present perfect simple to talk about states or actions that began in the past and continue to the present. We don't know if they will continue in the future. Here is an example. I have lived in Manchester for 5 years. I started living in Manchester 5 years ago and I still live there now. We use the past perfect simple to talk about states or actions that began in the past and continued up to a later point in the past. I had lived in Manchester for 5 years by the time I was 23. This means that I started living in Manchester when I was 18 and I still lived there when I was 23, 5 years later. You don't know if I continued living there after that. That's not clear in this sentence. We use the future perfect simple to talk about states and actions that will continue to a point in the future. I will have lived in Manchester for 5 years by the time I'm 33. In this sentence, the starting point for living in Manchester is age 28, which is in the past. 5 years later, I will be 33 and still living in Manchester. Okay, time for the final use. I'm calling this use consequences. Consequences. We can use the perfect simple tenses to talk about things that happened before a point in time but are relevant at that point. It's like talking about the consequences of an action or event.
Yeah, that's why my word for it is cut short.
We use the present perfect simple to talk about an event that happened in the past but is important in the present. For example, I've been out every night this week, so I'm really tired today. That's a past action with a present consequence. I was out every night up to now and I am tired now. We use the past perfect simple to talk about an event that happened in the past that was important at a later date in the past. For example, I'd been out every night that week, so I was really tired. A past action with a past consequence. I went out every night of a week in the past, and the next day I was tired. Both of those events are in the past. And the future perfect simple. We use the future perfect simple to talk about something that will happen before a point in the future that will be relevant at a later time. For example, I will have been out every night that week, so I will be really tired. It's a future action with a likely future consequence. I will go out every night for a week in the future, and then I will be tired. Okay, that is everything I want to say about the perfect tenses today. Of course, there are more ways we use these tenses, but I think these are the most useful for you. I go into so much more detail in the perfect ebook, which you can download by clicking the link in the description box. You will also get access to the exercise pack where you can test your understanding. I would also love to see you complete the homework where you practice.
And she used her own terminologies. Yeah, I really like this one better. That's just my preference. Anyway, it's pretty good to have a refresher. I wonder if they're gonna advance on us.
Vengeance!
I hope they know.
The Dallier ready! War machine ready! For the ancestors! If they get close, notch 'em! Understood, Lord!
We fighters, real companions!
Hell yeah.
Vengeance! Reach fast! Axes out, lads! Reach fast!
It would be nice if there were like commands to like rotate.
Reach fast! Move now! Down! Through! Charge! For mountain and hall! Dwarf warriors! Move! Mover! Yes! Charge! Move off! Cannon! Stock! Adu! Vengeance! That'll do! Axes out! Longbeards! Pull out! Range far, range fast! Go! Move! I am the ranking lord! Dwarf warriors! Yes! Dwarf warriors! Aye! Selecting target! Aye! Ready to serve! Blow through! Right far, right fast!
Then now, the way I present myself to the company, here, I don't try to be lively. Of course I'm doing some demos, but I'm not trying to be lively. I mean, I'm gonna be talking to freaking adults and young adults, not children anyway. And how I was talking about the Gogo Gaga character yesterday. Yeah, I really think that it's a freaking psyop. Just kidding. You know, I really wouldn't do that. I wouldn't talk to children like that. And that's just gonna hinder development. But you know, if you wanna talk to children like that, then go ahead, I guess. Whatever.
Nothing can stop us! Blow out! Shield bearers off! Longbeards!
Wow, we're doing so much damage.
Beards ready!
Oh, the Griff Knights. Hippogriff, not Demigriff. Hippogriff, Hippo.
Go! Go! Yes! Charge! Valaya, bless our aim! Move now!
I think they have more range. 160. Yeah. They have twice our range. What the frick? I think that's realistic. I mean, do they have like longbows? Longbows have greater range than crossbows. Yeah, they have longbows.
If we run, we're doomed anyway. The lady's blessing is lost.
Ready! Obey me! Fight! Ready to strike! Attack the ox! For the Karas Anchor! Got! Kill ox! Kazook! Slay the oak!
Run!
For the Karas Anchor!
I'm gonna win this. Oh no. I'm gonna win this.
Dwarf warriors! Nothing can stop us! Plow through! Find your targets! Pick your targets well! Take them down! And that! Will do! Cut those dwarven legs! Dwarf warriors! Kadook! Longbeards! Withdraw!
Oh, it's a man tiger. My ally. Man tigers.
Our fire undimmed! Will do! Righto!
They trespass on our mountains and expect us to do nothing about it. I'm LARPing. I love to LARP dwarves.
Warriors of those woven lakes! Charge! Take them down! Lord! I pull out! Move to attack! Drag everything! Kill them! Withdraw!
To the bearded ones!
Let the vengeance!
Hell yeah. Another Pyrrhic victory. I really love dwarfs. I think they fit my playstyle. I barely lost any long beards. They just keep on choosing Bretonia. No, but you know, lesson learned. We are outranged by longbowmen. So I'm gonna make a minor change. 145, 160. If I can have great weapons here. Rangers, quarrelers. 80. But our range is really low. These guys are just liabilities. Let's put more long beards. I'm gonna try this. Rather shielded than great weapons. And I'm gonna get water. Hold on. Am I gonna go out today? Or no? Like I said, you know, I shouldn't act like I have freaking money.
Victory will be ours! Quarrelers! Cannon! Quarrelers! Fight the
I think I wanna play Dota 2 after this. And now it's already Sunday in the Philippines. 2 a.m.
For the Karazanko! Cannon!
I really love the range on these things.
They have wronged us.
They have wronged us. Really sounds like me. With that level of resentment. They have wronged us. That level of anger. Hell yeah. And that sound effect is very Michael Bay. Oh. There's not enough of them to operate them anymore.
This won't miss fire!
They don't know that we have great weapons.
Nothing can stop us!
I'm the top damage dealer again, nice.
We have scores to settle!
Was that supposed to hurt?
Go! Hot! Move! Range far, range fast! Our fire undid! Range far, range fast! Ah! For the ancestors!
They are blessed by the enchantress!
We will have vengeance! Obey me! I Take him down!
Firing at the ones who run. Hell yeah.
For Grimnir!
Big targets.
Anad! Blow through! Right? Cannon!
There's another victory, I suppose.
Quarrelers!
Stop.
War of vengeance! Quarrelers! Fire on the axe! This won't miss fire! Cannon! Understood, Lord! Move! Long beards! Charge! Find your targets! At your command! For the Karazhan Corps! Hump those dwarven legs! That'll do! Shield bearers, ho! Blow through! Kazukan Kazaki, ha! Move now! Strike out! Charge! Nothing can stop us! Move! Hump those dwarven legs!
Hell yeah. That was nice.
The runes glow! Yes! Castle! Charge! Cannon! Down! Kazook! Get him!
They don't know we have great weapons.
Quarrelers! Vengeance! Quarrelers! For the High King! Quarrelers! Moving out! Go! Move now! Blow through! Range far, range fast! Strike out! Moving out!
A top damage dealer again.
We demand blood! Go!
We demand blood.
Go! Plow through! Pump those dwarven legs! Nothing can stop us!
Command them again and again.
Understood, Lord! Muster the throng! For Grimnir, I order thee! Charge! Good! Fight! Down! Lord!
This is taking longer because I chose shielded units rather than armor piercing units. Mostly.
They have wronged us!
That's why the enemies are lasting longer than before.
They have wronged us! Quarrelers! Shoot the waddocks! Yes! Shield bearers, ho! I am the ranking lord!
Wipe these monlings out! Death to the bearded ones! And dishonor!
Quarrelers! War of vengeance! Go! Yikes! Justine! Dwarf warriors!
Another Pyrrhic victory. They don't really want to change their faction. I wonder if... I don't... maybe not. Rifles wouldn't be better here. Come on, Bonnie. Get ready. I'm just waiting for my body. My ally. You know, I'm very lucky that my magazines, my gas blowback magazines aren't leaking. There were times when they were leaking, but, they're fixable. Come on. My ally is AFK. Oh man, he dropped. There's a nice host though. Sometimes, when my life becomes stable, I think I will buy more stuff. The stuff that I've wanted for like half a decade now. Like these They're saying it's aluminum. I hope it's really aluminum. And not just zinc alloy or pot metal. I hope it's really aluminum. I hope it's really aluminum. If it's pot metal, then there's freaking false advertisement. People deserve to know. Man. Oh, it's a stainless steel. Is that really stainless steel or is it aluminum? Freaking hell. It costs twice as much also. No, this one says steel. Is it really like a magnetic steel? You know, the reason why I don't like full metal units is they're mostly made of zinc alloy or pot metal. I don't like those. They're not realistic. I mean, even my pistols are made of zinc alloy, including the magazines. These aren't realistic when they get oxidized. They're the same material as telephone poles. With all white rust.
We will have vengeance! For the ancestors! Cannon! Kill orcs! Cannon! Yes!
I'm gonna make a run for it.
Lord!
How much are Hong Kong dollars? Times 8 plus taxes.
We will have vengeance! Move now! Cannon! Go! Cannon! Moving out! Ah! Kill the orb splitters! Cannon! It is a reckoning! This swarm misfire! The next kill is ours! Victory will be ours! Go! It is a reckoning! Cannon!
Hell yeah, bunch up. Frozen. I didn't see what happened.
They have wronged us!
I didn't see what happened. Okay.
At your command!
Hell yeah.
Going masters! We are relentless! Charge! Range far, range fast! Ready to strike! Withdraw! Moving out! That'll do! Move! Obey me! Axes out! Nothing can stop us! Strike out! Attack the earth! I am the ranking lord!
Yeah.
This won't misfire! This won't misfire! Warriors! Fire on the foe! Kazook! Shield bearers, ho! Plow through! Pump those dwarven legs!
Hell yeah, brother.
Nothing can stop us! On the way! Strike out! Dull! Move off! Move! Pump those dwarven legs! Pump those dwarven legs! Go! Kill Urks! Valaya, bless our aim! Will do! Range far, range fast! Long beards! Warriors! By Grimnir I order thee! Plow through! Shield bearers, ho! Go!
Wow. I've done.
As you command!
Yeah. Highest damage output again. Very nice.
Killers! Get on! Now! Charge! Ready! Go! Strike out! Vengeance! Move! Go!
I was being indecisive.
It is an order! I drain them! Warriors! Move! Let the vengeance begin! Longbeard! Understood! Kazook! Drag them! Cannon! For the High King! Move now! Go! Yes! Longbeards! Yes! Axes out, lads! Move now! Now! Yes! Warriors! Let's start shooting! Reach fast! Pick your targets well! Put those dwarven lads! We have scores to settle! Move now! Nothing can stop us! Pull out! Obey me! Warriors! It is a reckoning! Take them down! Targets, Lord! Shoot the wizards! For the cannons anchor! Plow through! Charge! Pump those dwarven legs! Sir! Most of the throng! Range far, range fast! Shield bearers, ho! Strike out! Pump those dwarven legs! Go! Shield bearers, ho! Range far, range fast! Plow through! Charge! Nothing can stop us! Aye! Fire on the foe! For the ancestor gods! Plow through!
No, it's a one thing my allies like protecting my flank earlier.
Come on!
Protecting my back.
Charge! Nothing can stop us! Vengeance! Strike out! Go! It is an order! Warriors! This grudge must be satisfied! Get him! Longbeards! Hammer them! For the ancestors! Attack the Urks! Vengeance! Vengeance! Kazook! Scuff! Get moving! Move! Kill Urks! Quarrelers! Strike out! Cannon! The lady's blessing is lost! Those Roman legs! Ranged firepower ready!
Hell yeah, most damage.
Yes! Kill Urks! By Grimnir I order thee! Move now! Kill them! Down! Kazook! Scoff!
There's a definite win again. Definitely a win.
Warriors! Move!
Well, this time I lost so many men. It's because we're armor piercing instead of armored. I mean shielded. But it's okay.
Warriors! Ranged firepower ready! And all magic users aye? The clans unite! Kazakin, ha!
If their last units start retreating, it's over. You know, I think I'm gonna do my laundry later. Hell yeah.
Bring them down! Pick your targets well!
There's gonna be a Pyrrhic victory again.
Counter charge! Yes! Yes!
Flood these lands!
Ah! This is the age of
The lady demands blood!
the lady's blessing is lost! Cannon! Ah! War of vengeance! Quarrelers! Take them down!
That's some nice Mortius gaming.
Get away!
Yes, Lord!
I hope I'll get all of them.
Shoot the wizards! Right-o!
Pick your targets, lads! These are difficult to shoot at!
Satisfy the grudge! Victory will be ours! The lady's blessing is lost! Withdraw!
No.
We have scores to...
Let's try different faction. No, man, all of them left. Oh, I guess that's it. Anyway, thank you so much, YouTube. I'm gonna go now. See ya. Have a great day or a great night, wherever you are.